Hi everyone, welcome again to Bake Your Way Kitchen, and today I'm actually doing another ingredients analysis video, and today I thought I'd talk to you about the main extracts that you'll see me working with. These are a few examples, but there's many more out there, so I'll just list them off, the ones I have. There is peppermint extract, pure coffee extract, almond extract, orange extract. Then we got vanilla bean paste, which I'll talk about later, and pure vanilla extract. And I've actually got 4 different companies of extracts. I would say 3 of the 4 are ones I would recommend. The Nielsen Macy, which are these two, the Simply Organic, and this one's Nielsen Macy as well. So these ones. This is just one we picked up. It's okay. I'll get into the reason why it's not my favorite later. But these are the main ones you'll see me working with. However, you'll see lemon, you'll see I've even seen chocolate extract. Like there's a whole bunch of different extracts. And extracts are important because they add another dip level to whatever it is you're baking. Some more than others, like peppermint extract. It's more obvious if you've added in peppermint extract in cookies than say if you put vanilla. And I'm going to simply go through the ones I've got here and simply talk about each one, and then just extracts in general and the use in baking. So the first one I've got here is pure peppermint extract. And if I smell this, it is so strong. And this is one of the funny things about peppermint extract is that, just trying to get the lid back on here, it is very strong. Like, my nose is burning right now. Not exactly, but you get the point. It's very, very strong. And whenever you see peppermint extract in a recipe, you'll usually only see a 1/4 teaspoon, a 1/2 teaspoon. The reason is it is so strong. The peppermint flavor is so heavily concentrated that really causes it, it means you don't need to use as much, basically. And so I often typically use peppermint. I love peppermint. I like it all year round. Stay tuned because I do plan to do an ice cream type of recipe without an ice cream machine, using peppermint extract, probably in the near future, maybe closer to the summertime, because I absolutely love peppermint. I think it's great all year round. Then we have pure coffee extract. Now, this is not a very critical extract. If I smell it, it's got a decent, I would say it has more of an instant espresso flavor than an actual coffee bean, if you know what I mean. Typically when I make coffee recipes, or recipes that involve coffee flavor, I usually put an instant espresso or something like that. On occasion I do use this for, like, say, if I'm making a chocolate cookie, I think the combination of chocolate and coffee is delicious. So sometimes I will use the extract over the instant espresso. But I would say overall this extract right here, the coffee one, is not a critical ingredient to have in your pantry. In fact, I was given this, so I didn't go out and buy it, but I mean, if you want to get it, absolutely, and you can easily substitute it for any extract. Same with most of these, with pretty much any recipe you can, if a recipe calls for extract and you want to use a different one, that's always okay. The next one we have here is almond, and I oftentimes like to use an almond extract for things like biscotti. If I take a smell, it's really got, at least for this one, it's got a, I would say a moderate almond flavor. It's definitely got, I definitely smell like a nutty, nuttiness to this, obviously, because it's an almond extract, but I often use this in things like biscotti. Sometimes when I make pie crust with almonds, which if you would like to see a recipe on that, I'm sure I can do that. I add a touch of almond extract, and that really brightens it up, I find. And obviously, any recipe with almonds, you can use this, and I would recommend it. The pure orange extract, and this bottle is so old. You can see the price tag is fading. We probably got this back in the 90s or something, and I think I might have only used this once. Orange extract is not one you'll come across often. You will more often come across lemon extract than orange when it comes to fruit extracts. If I smell this one, it's not very, I can't really smell it. And that's the thing, when you buy a lower quality extract, and over time too, just the extract won't have that powerful flavor that it's supposed to be giving you in this. In fact, I think I actually did a truffle recipe recently, chocolate truffle recipe with orange extract, and to be quite honest, I could taste that orange flavor, but it didn't pull through. So it could be a mixture of this being a dated bottle, but also just the brand. It's just, even though it's a pure orange extract, it's kind of one of those low quality brands. Anyway, now we're moving on to the big ones. These are the ones you will pretty much come across always with my recipes, because I absolutely love vanilla. And we go through these bottles so quickly. It's unbelievable. Right here I've got vanilla bean paste, and right here I've got vanilla extract. And I'll just take a smell of both of them. Whoops. There we go. And the vanilla bean paste. So the vanilla bean paste has a stronger vanilla flavor. And I actually went between the two of these. If I were to pick one that I would rather use, it's actually vanilla bean paste. Vanilla bean paste is a cross between a vanilla extract and using an actual vanilla pod. I don't have a vanilla pod with me, but they're those long, dark, kind of bendable sticks. I don't really know how to describe it. And you cut into one, and you take out the specks of vanilla, and you put it in your recipe. And a lot of people do that, and that's great. The reason I say vanilla bean paste is a cross between using a vanilla pod and using vanilla extract, because you get the specks of vanilla and you get the vanilla extract form, but it's also thicker. It's kind of like a molasses. It's almost like a molasses texture, a little looser. I'm going to open this bottle. I don't know how much you'll be able to see, but if you can even see at the top of the bottle here, you can see all the specks of vanilla, and I love that, especially when I do cookie recipes. And if I ever do cookie recipe, I never use vanilla extract anymore. I always use vanilla bean paste. Why? Because one thing with cookies, especially if they're like, unless you're making a chocolate cookie, then the cookie's going to be dark, but if it's a light cookie, you'll see the specks of vanilla, and I love that. And as I was mentioning, the vanilla bean paste has a stronger flavor, and the vanilla really comes through, I find, a lot more than vanilla extract. However, there are times when you do not want to use vanilla bean paste, because as I was mentioning, it is thick. It's quite thick. And depending on a recipe you're using, which could be quite sensitive with ingredients like a meringue, for example, when you're working with egg whites, you do not want to have an impact on the recipe by putting something thick like that in that might take time to incorporate in what you're making. So oftentimes for delicate recipes and recipes that are like a macaroon, for example, a lot of things that that involve egg whites or things that have a very sensitive texture, I would not use vanilla bean paste. I would use vanilla extract. Vanilla extract, almost just as good in my opinion. This is this brand, the Nielsen Macy vanilla, is very good. The vanilla is from Madagascar, and it's been a brand that we've been using for quite a while, and it's just worked well for us. And so now about the extracts in general. When it comes to them in baking, as I was mentioning earlier, you can easily substitute them. Like if you see a recipe that calls for vanilla extract, you can easily use almond, and I have done that a lot in the past. It really depends on what you're looking for. And one of the reasons why I made this channel, Bake Your Way, is so that in my videos, hopefully, I'm showing you that, there is another way. It's not set in stone, although baking is a science, and you do need to follow measurements properly. You can easily substitute other products to how you like it, because I think the fun part, the best part about baking and cooking is learning from others and trying a different way of doing things, And that's one of the reasons why I love baking and cooking and things like that. So yeah, that was just a quick rundown of extracts. The purpose of them is basically to add another depth to what you're making, add that flavor. Depending on what you're making, it can be subtle, like in chocolate chip cookies. I find when you use a teaspoon of vanilla, the taste is very subtle. So I usually add in about a tablespoon of vanilla in a cookie recipe, as an example. But for things like peppermint extract, like if I use half a teaspoon or a teaspoon, oh yeah, I'll know for sure it's there. So they're there to act to give a complement to a recipe that you're making. They are by no means compulsory to creating any baking. They're simply there just to add another level to your recipe. And if you do go out to buy extracts, my suggestion is to buy the real one or do not use any extract at all. I have used the other ones in the past, and I just find them just completely, I just have this aftertaste, and I can tell if it's not a real, when it's not a real extract, when you've been using real extract, and you all of a sudden taste something with a fake extract involved, you'll be able to notice. And I think that's important. I think it's important. So you definitely, if you are going to go out of your way to pay for an extract, make sure you get the real stuff, or just don't even bother, because to be quite honest, if you use an imitation, it could ruin your recipe, because just a little bit, with all these extracts, some more than others, but to an extent, all these will have an impact on your recipe. So the quality of the ingredients that you involve in your recipe are very important. Anyway, so this was just a quick guide at the extracts that I currently have on hand, and you'll probably see tons more. I know when it comes to vanilla, there's different kinds of vanilla. Like I know there's what's it called? The Tahitian vanilla. Like there's many varieties out there, so it really is up to you, and have fun with it, and you'll be able to discover what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and go from there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please leave your feedback down below, and I thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.